Hey guys, welcome to the show. What a day to film. I want you to know that I have been trying to film. I've been having a lot of technical difficulties, so I don't mean to promise a video and then not deliver. I do want to try to record a few times a week. But first of all, there was nothing really going on last week, so it sort of worked out. Nobody is more pissed off about this news than Blake Lively. I will tell you that. I've been thinking about her. People say that Taylor Swift dropped the news a day after Blake Lively's birthday on purpose, which if it were anybody else, I would be like, that's crazy and that's a coincidence. But is anything really a coincidence with Taylor Swift? You know, I don't believe her to be a genius, but I believe her to be very manipulative. All right. I think she's good at marketing. I think she has a great marketing team. And I think she's very petty, so it's possible that she planned that on purpose. Likely, I would say. Blake is missing out on a ton of PR. You know that she would have been all over this wedding. She would have been talking about this wedding nonstop. She would have probably tweeted 15 times by now about this. You know, while I'm filming this, I don't know if she's tweeted. It would be kind of weird for her not to tweet because I think she's trying to keep up appearances. But I doubt Taylor Swift will respond. You know that she would have had Ryan Reynolds in with the groom. He would have been in the groom's party, and she would have been probably a bridesmaid, if not maid of honor. And then she would have had those kids, Taylor Swift's godchildren, as the flower girls. And this is why you have to be careful when you choose godparents, okay? What I would recommend, what I would do if I had kids, is I would find my wealthiest friends. So Blake did have the right idea, but then you have to make sure you stay on their good side no matter what. And if that's having like a little, like less contact with them, that's fine. Unfortunately for Blake, she doesn't have a good side, so she couldn't stay on Taylor's good side. There was no way. That was going to implode. By the way, Jamie King, she's a mess. I don't like to report on very, very dark stories, so that's why I've never reported on Jamie King, but she's a mess. And her kids are also Taylor Swift's godchildren. You see how that works? Anyways, I'm actually surprised that Travis's thirsty ass family hasn't been in the spotlight more today. The brother, of course, had to share, you know, a graphic where he was photoshopped in, you know, bare chested, no shirt on. I'm telling you, he is the guy that dresses up in women's clothing on Halloween, and he walks around without a shirt and like always is taking his, he probably has his shirt off at weddings. He's going to take his shirt off at Taylor Swift's wedding. I can't stand that. That's one of my top 5 like least favorite things for a man to do. Take his shirt off in general, like in inappropriate times, but mostly at a wedding. And you know that that's what's going to happen. They say that she got engaged right around the time of that podcast, but like, can you trust these people? I know that like him having short hair is an indication of when this went down. Obviously, you know, the styling of the engagement is really low key, just like them. I want to see that ring closer. It's hard to understand what's going on with that ring. Travis designed it, so I feel like he had a pad of paper and drew it out with a crayon. If I was guessing, that's how the whole thing went down. I do find this whole rollout to be nauseating, but were we expecting anything less? She was never going to get this from any other guy. So they are perfect for each other in that sense. I still have a very, very hard time believing that they're a real couple. I will say that, like, there's something about them that like does not feel like do they like, I don't know. If you told me that they had only like pecked on the lips, like I would believe you. There's something missing there. And like, it wouldn't put it past me for famous people to like go all the way with something like this, like that's so lucrative. And she would have never been able to be with anybody that was unwilling to participate in this and to have like this level of fame, because, and I've said it before, I think that their teams are going to merge if they haven't already. Like, she wants to be like Jay-Z and Beyonce. He's going to retire and then he's going to be like he's going to be an actor, and she's going to fucking love that because she's going to be able to go to all the premieres and get attention from the other people who are starring in the movie. Like that's like her sole purpose in life, is to get attention. And that's why that's his sole purpose as well. More so the brother, that family like is the thirstiest family on earth. So she does have that in common with her in-laws, which is good. And then, you know, speaking of like, you know, stealing people's spotlights, there's the Sabrina Carpenter of it all. Sabrina Carpenter really thought that she was like in with Taylor Swift because Taylor Swift added her onto this album. But the truth is that she's trying to steal Sabrina's thunder. I mean, as evident in the fact that she dropped this news the week of Sabrina Carpenter's album release. And again, one might argue if it were somebody else involved that was a coincidence, but you know that that's not a coincidence. And then, you know, Dr. Brian Licious, who's he is so funny. His videos on Taylor Swift are the funniest things ever. But he was saying that Olivia Rodrigo like moved her album shipment date up to October 3rd, which is Taylor Swift's release date. So they always got some funky stuff going on. Obviously, I'm on Olivia Rodrigo's side because that whole thing was ridiculous. The suing of Olivia Rodrigo, especially after Olivia Rodrigo came out and was like, "I love Taylor Swift," and that's how you know that they have real beef, because the ass kissing has subsided. She's not gassing up Taylor Swift anymore. She's not going to the Eras tour. And speaking of gassing up Taylor Swift, the way that the celebrities are going to act about this wedding is going to be really pathetic. I will say that. Like, they're all going to be like vying for a chance to attend. Kim Kardashian is going to have to apologize. She's going to want to be at this wedding. Kim Kardashian really definitely regrets her missteps when it comes to Taylor Swift. Because to be relevant, this is pathetic. I don't condone this, but to be relevant, you almost have to be friends with Taylor Swift. Like that we have a very sad state of celebrity. They're all very, very corny people, like Zoe Kravitz. Like, they're all really tryhards that are like, it doesn't matter how hard you try, there's nothing interesting about you, so it's like never gonna work, really. Like, Zoe Kravitz has been running around with Harry Styles, apparently, which people are mad about. They're like, that's Taylor Swift's old man, which I like completely forgot about that. And that was probably definitely a fake relationship, in my opinion, right? And it's like, it seems hard to avoid Harry Styles. Like, he will attach himself to anyone, you know? And he's been walking around with Zoe Kravitz, who looks like an emaciated Cousin It. Like, that hair, I have a problem with really, really long stringy hair. And just really, really long hair in general. Like, unless you're like young, I think it looks ridiculous. And she was walking around Rome with him. He's dressed like fucking 70s Inspector Gadget. And I'll never forgive him for when he kissed Emrata. Do you remember that? Like, there was like that paparazzi video of them making out, and it was so nasty. She's made out with like, she's dipped pretty low, you know, but the way that they made out, I'll never forgive either one of them. It was grotesque. It was like they had never kissed before, but they were like, do you remember my first kiss was like so bad that I couldn't believe that I was gonna ever have to do it again. Like, I was like, that's what kissing is. That's what their kiss looked like. By the way, while we're on the subject of Emrata, I did want to discuss this. Something in the air. I did want to discuss this. My booty birthday video about Emrata's booty birthday, like, went twice as viral, like, months and months after I posted it. And I noticed that, like, days later, like, there were pictures popping up of her in Ibiza. And at the time, I always like think it's a little weird when certain things go viral, like out of the blue, or just the way that certain things work on TikTok. I'm always like kind of suspicious. And I literally thought to myself, I wonder if her team is like paying like TikTok to promote videos that mention her. And then sure enough, like the next day, there were new pictures on TMZ of her like in Ibiza in a bathing suit showing off her booty because she wants to be a booty girl so bad. She knows Sydney Sweeney has the corner on big boobed girls, although that Brooke Nader girl, I saw another picture of her with a sheer top today. It's just like, how is this your thing? How did you decide on that? You're like, my thing is just gonna be I walk around in see-through tops everywhere and have Backrid following me around. Anyways, Emrata knows she's in trouble, so she needed to have some paparazzi shoots where she shows off her butt, and she was with her very unattractive DJ boyfriend. Like, I don't think Emrata is great by any stretch of the imagination. Like, do I think that she's hot? Yeah. And if Emrata can't find, as hard as she tries, if she can't find herself like a rich, attractive man, like the rest of us are really in trouble, you know? Speaking of being in trouble, Cardi B showing up to court, another court date, showing up to court in a Spock wig. Like her wig was insane. She has completely lost her mind. Like she's gone nuts. I'm pretty sure of it. Like, and who wouldn't? You know, there's been a lot of pressure lately online, and she's just such a flop, and it's so inevitable. But she showed up at court because she apparently like physically assaulted a security guard at the OBGYN when she was going for an appointment when she was pregnant with Culture. Imagine naming your kid Culture, by the way. It's like, it makes me think of like like drug culture. You know what I mean? Like you had to go to the doctor and like have a culture test. Anyways, she's an innocent child. I don't like when people name their kids stupid things. Anywho, she was pregnant with Culture. She went to this OBGYN. The security guard said, oh, it's Cardi B. And then Cardi B lost it on her. And like, I guess broke skin, like cut her cheek with her nail. How disgusting. How gross. And yeah, just flipped out because the girl noticed who she was. And it's like, you have a huge BBL, Cardi B. Like, people with BBLs must know that everybody is looking at you if you have a BBL, because it's like crazy to see one in the wild. Like, I love seeing BBLs in the wild, naturally, of course. Like, you don't see them every day. So yeah, a girl with a BBL walking into an OBGYN and then it ends up being Cardi B. Like, who can blame that girl? She's in civil court, so she's getting sued. You know that girl was like, all right, I'm gonna get a check out of this. She did say that she like approached Cardi B like after the initial assault, and they like asked her why, and she was like, oh, to like clear up any misunderstandings. And it's like, nah, she wanted to rev Cardi B up. And Cardi B is an easy target. She has no self-control, clearly. She has absolutely no discipline or self-control. Anybody with an opportunity like that, like the way that she has squandered this opportunity is like incredible. I've never seen anything like it. I have never seen somebody squander opportunity like Cardi B, because they plucked her from a reality TV show. They were like, you are gonna be the next Nicki Minaj, because they got beef with Nicki Minaj. They paid for everything, gave her a Grammy Award. She sat around for 7 years having kids with Offset. He is the worst member of Migos, getting played like a fiddle the entire time. And then she finally gets this album together. They didn't even want to put the album out. The record label did not like this album, but I think that they had already invested so much money. They're like, oh my God. And then she winds up pregnant by the new guy. And now they are saying there's a lot of rumors on TikTok about the new guy being a friend of Dorothy. Imagine, like, that is crazy. It's like, she needs to burn some sage. She should have never put out WAP. WAP was like, the universe is not happy about WAP. I don't think that Megan Thee Stallion has particularly good luck either. She's not very favored, it does not seem. But yeah, Cardi B is she's just a fucking mess. I almost feel bad for her at this point, because this is the flop of all flops. It's the inevitable flop, because the precipice of this will be that she has to announce that she's pregnant again and that she's not gonna tour. And I don't know, I don't hate follow people, but like will watch interviews with celebrities that I hate. So that might be like in some ways a hate follow, but it's just like, it's so satisfying because they're so dumb. Like celebrities aren't meant to be in like long form, you know, they're just meant to follow a script. But you pluck somebody like Cardi B out of obscurity, she takes absolutely zero media training classes in the 7 years she's been sitting around. She needs to learn how to speak English. And she is an American citizen. Like she was born here and can't speak English. It's crazy. I don't think she can really speak Spanish either, but it's pitiful. She didn't do anything. She just sat around and did nothing this entire time. And now so she was doing this interview. She's talking about how the concept of her new music video went over everyone's head. And then she explained that the concept was that she was wearing couture clothes and rapping about couture clothes, and then she wore the couture clothes to the fashion show. Cardi B is the only person that still like thinks a fashion show is cool. Like no normal people are like, oh my God, she got invited to a fashion show. Like literally no one cares. Because they'll invite anyone. They're inviting you, Cardi B. So she was very proud to like tell everybody that was the concept of the music video, but the real concept of the music video was that her record company didn't want to pay for 2 events. So they paid to put her in the couture and send her to the fashion shows, and then they paid to film the music video on the same day. She seems confused by that, and are you surprised? She's confused by basically everything in life, it would seem like. My real vendetta against her, besides WAP, is that I saw like clips of her live and she was sucking on crab legs and she was just being absolutely vulgar and disgusting and talking about weird, gross shit. And I just think that she is a stain on society. I think that she's a plant, like a plant to make society dumber and more ignorant. That's really how I feel about it. And like, I'll ride for Nicki Minaj all day. Because what they did to her was dead wrong. And she is actually extremely talented. Speaking of not talented rappers, more not talented rappers, Lil Nas X. He's getting hit with 4 felonies. I thought it was a stunt. And I still sort of think that it was a stunt gone wrong. But he got out of jail and he was like, your girl's okay. And it's like, you were just in a male jail. It was for men. You're a man. You had your Johnson hanging out. That's why you got arrested. So I don't understand this thing with like gay men calling themselves girls. It's actually like, I think that women should be insulted by that because it's just like, why are we a joke? And I don't understand why everyone hates, you all want to be women, but then you hate women. It's all very strange to me. I don't like Lil Nas X, obviously. I mean, he went from Old Town Road to twerking on the devil, and it was just too much. It was a lot of this extremely woke stuff reminds me of And Just Like That, where it's like, it's so forced that it's like, no one can put up with it. That's how I feel with him. And then he gets out and like that's his statement that he's a woman. Oh, don't be nervous about your girl. Like, okay. Speaking of being nervous about real girls, Britney Spears, it's not been good the last couple weeks. And I wonder if, it's always weird because I feel like when Britney Spears pops up, there's like other rumblings that are happening within her world that like makes me suspicious about like why all of a sudden they're like talking about her and why like her social media, for instance, might like rev up. And like it was 2 weeks ago that it came out that Kevin Federline was putting out his memoir, which I find to be very strange. I think it's really weird that at the level of fame that Britney Spears is at and like how wealthy I think she still is, or at one point was, that they would not have like an NDA that like extended throughout Kevin Federline's life. Like, why should he be allowed to talk about Britney Spears and make money off Britney Spears? I'm actually shocked by it because you'd think that they might cut him a deal to not release a book. That's assuming that there's anything interesting in the book. But without talking about Britney Spears, why would he even have a book? So anyways, she started acting real weird again, talking about bread, twirling around. She's either wearing 1920s dresses with 1920s shoes, like tap shoes, or she's wearing nothing. It's like there's no real in between with her. But she was twirling around. She was talking about baking bread and how the bread was like cake. And honestly, I think that it's substance abuse. I do think that that's Britney Spears, although the way her teeth moved freaked me out. The way the teeth moved freaked me out. And she also was talking about how her marriage to Sam felt like a fake distraction to help her deal with not talking to her kids. And I find the wording strange, but it's coming from Britney Spears. So it's like she's I think abusing substances, in my opinion. And that is based on like stuff that her brother Brian had going on with his ex-girlfriend. And I'll actually read you her stories, the ex-girlfriend stories, but I find it weird that she's like popping up, she's talking about this. The wedding with Sam is something I think about all the time because it was so sketchy. That was so weird. Like the fact that there was only that one picture of her and they were both in the living room and there was like shit in the background. Like it's just very odd. The guests, the way they all talked about that wedding. Like, and then people were saying that it might be an AI wedding. And honestly, like I wouldn't be surprised. They actually compared Demi Lovato's wedding to Britney Spears' wedding. And they were like, are both of these fucking fake weddings? Then the argument could be made. This is what Brian Spears' ex-girlfriend had to say about what's going on with Britney Spears. Brian, why don't you tell Britney how you talk shit about her to her security Nina and everyone else in her life, like Cade, who's that sketchy best friend of hers, your mom, me, all your friends. You love to control her and use all her money. Poor girl is posting videos of you thinking you're being a good brother, yet I have recordings of what the fuck is your actual agenda. Do yourself a favor and stop doing the Mexican meth and bullshit and harassing me every day, telling me I'm cheating on you while I am watching a movie with my mom. And then I find out you're in Mexico back for more drugs while you haven't been by my side one day of cancer. F you. Keep drugging up your sister and living off her money, then complaining to everyone she's hallucinating and talking to walls. You're going to kill your sister like my brother. Now this girl, when he met her, she was like 23 and he was like 43. And I just feel like there's been a lot of reports that that's what Britney is allegedly doing, in my opinion. And it's very sad because I love Britney Spears. And I think often about like how lucky we were to have Britney Spears and some of the other people that we grew up with that were like real celebrities and like real, like they were real stars. And Gen Z has like Taylor Swift and Charlie XCX. And that's why I often, have empathy for Gen Z, because they've had it a little rough. Everybody's completely addicted to their phones, and all the celebrities are loser nepo babies. We had Britney, although it's terrible to see what happened to her. Anywho, I hate to end on kind of a sad note, but I think that's all I have. Like and subscribe. I should have said that at the beginning. I want to get to 500 followers. Or 500 subscribers on YouTube. That's like the first threshold. So it would be great if I could do that. Let me know what you want me to talk about, what topics that you want discussed. I can deep dive into stuff. We can, chat about whatever you want. So do let me know. And thanks for watching.